A deadly day at Walt Disney World. Local school security under scrutiny after the murder of a middle school student. Selling stolen goods gets a local businessman busted. Were you one of his victims? Now you see it?
Can you tell us who authorized the tow, sir?
Now you don't. Local towing companies taking your car and your wallet for a ride. The NBC 6 News at 11 starts now.
Yeah, I could feel the tension in the air. I could see everybody running around.
Trapped in a trench for hours. Tonight, a real-life survivor tells his side of the story. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tony Segreto.
And I'm Jackie Nesprell. It was an incredible scene that played out on national television.
Imagine this, a South Florida man stuck in a trench filled with water for over 3 hours as rescue workers tried to pull him free.
In a story you'll only see on NBC 6 tonight, the man talked about the accident, the rescue, and now his road to recovery.
Sharon Lawson is live at Broward General with tonight's top story. Sharon?
Well, John Wright spoke candidly about his frightening ordeal from his hospital bed tonight. Now, keep in mind, he's not moving around a lot because he has a severely fractured pelvis that requires surgery. But he is stable and so lucky to be alive, he says, thanks to a host of people, including rescue workers, doctors, and his family.
It was an experience that I'm never going to forget.
And who could forget this freak accident at a Parkland construction site that quickly turned into a matter of life or death for 53-year-old John Wright?
When you first something happening like that, everything goes through your mind. Everything you ever lived for and ever done flashed before your mind.
Wright, a supervisor for Florida Sewer and Water, was checking on the work of his employees when something went terribly wrong when he went down into the hole.
I went down in the hole to shoot some grades to make sure my pipes was at the right elevations. But when I went down in there and I got down in a minute or two, the bank caved in on us.
It was a massive boulder that trapped Wright in this 30 by 30-foot hole with water surrounding him. He had to fight hypothermia, a fractured pelvis, and internal bleeding. It took rescue workers more than 3 hours to pull him from the hole. But when he arrived at North Broward Medical Center, the diagnosis wasn't good.
He was hypothermic and hypotensive when he came in. Those are not good things. He had crush injuries to his legs. He ran the risk of dying from shock.
But miraculously, he survived. Right now, an external fixer keeps his pelvis stable. Wright and his family say because of rescue workers and emergency personnel, they'll be forever grateful.
He'll have a miraculous recovery. I guarantee you, if you come back in 6 months, you won't believe what you'll see because of his stature and his stamina. He'll make it.
I thank them from the bottom of my heart. I know with the love of God and they love, they had to get me out.
John Wright, a very courageous and humble man. And while we were here, John Wright received a phone call from Jackson Memorial Hospital. They said that they'll be able to open up a bed for him. So he's going to be transferred from North Broward to Jackson Memorial so they can start surgery on his pelvis. And then his road to recovery will begin. Also, he wanted to thank one of his workers, James Holman, who was stuck in the ditch with him. And he managed to become free and how to pull that boulder from on top of him before rescue workers arrived. He says if it wasn't for him, he probably wouldn't be alive tonight. Reporting live from Pompano Beach, Sharon Lawson, NBC 6.
Miracles do happen. Sharon, thank you. Well, tragedy strikes at Walt Disney World in Orlando. A worker in a costume was killed this afternoon at the Magic Kingdom. Martha Sigalski is live in satellite control with the very latest on this story, Martha.
Well, Tony, it's something that happens every day at the Magic Kingdom, all those parades throughout the park. Well, today it ended tragically for one man. This all happening, we understand, during an afternoon parade. Now, this is what we know at this hour. All of this occurred backstage near Splash Mountain. Employee 38-year-old Javier Cruz of Orlando was killed. Park officials say Cruz had worked at the park since December 1995 and was the Pluto character in the parade. He was toward the end of the parade and was about to enter the park when he was hit. The Orange County Police are investigating as well as OSHA. Tonight, Disney officials are reacting.
This is a sad and tragic day for the Walt Disney World Resort. One of our character performers from our Magic Kingdom parade has passed away as a result of an accident in our parade. One of our parade vehicles struck him.
Now, from what we know, the last time a worker died at Walt Disney World was back in 1999 when a part-time employee who had been working in the loading area of the Magic Kingdom Skyway apparently fell to his death. Reporting live in satellite control, I'm Martha Sigalski, NBC 6.
Martha, thank you. And the murder of this middle school student is forcing South Florida school leaders to re-examine security issues at local schools. Jaime Goff was found dead inside Southwood Middle School 1 week ago. allegedly murdered by one of his classmates. Michelle Kosinski attended the Miami-Dade School Board meeting tonight where they talked about some security changes. Michelle?
Yeah, parents demanded changes. Now they may get some. In fact, school board meeting tonight opened up with a moment to remember Jaime Goff. It was 1 week ago parents were just realizing a brutal murder had happened inside a middle school. Tonight we're hearing things could very well change after all this. School board members are saying they would like to see better security. Of course, that's easy to say. The trick will be paying for it.
We have a student in the restroom that's not responding.
That's how it started. Hours before police even knew they had a murder on their hands in a middle school. The murder of 14-year-old Jaime Goff at the hands of his friend and classmate. They found him stabbed to death on the floor of his school bathroom.
He's in a stall in the restroom, and there's a lot of blood, and he's not responding. There's blood everywhere. How old is he? Probably 13, 14. Is he breathing? Can he tell? They're not sure what happened. They can't tell.
And that is why the school board is now calling for a special workshop on security after hearing the police department's annual report on it. Even before this murder, calling for better security cameras managed by school police, more civic and character building programs, better training and allocation of security monitors. Some members even suggested anti-violence and anti-bullying programs.
I think it's extremely important at this moment for the board to take some specific actions.
Actually, they had to be careful what they talked about here. The school board attorney warned them that the district will probably be sued in this case. They don't want to make it look like this murder could have been prevented. Still, Frank Cobo has been talking about security for a long time. He says parents are calling for security monitors outside school bathrooms.
In fact, even timing the child. If two walk in, then it could be a problem.
Is that possible to do this money-wise?
You know, I don't think so, basically. And I think that's what it's all about. I think it's all money.
So what do you do?
Well,
Cameras.
more police, more cameras. Immediately, there should be a solution to that problem.
So people have ideas, but how do you pay for this? Some members said they would like to see more money allocated from the budget to security. They're going to have a special workshop on this matter within the next 30 days. Live in downtown Miami, Michelle Kosinski, NBC6.
Michelle, thank you. A Cuban family who tried twice to float to freedom in a converted car is heading back to Cuba, but not to Castro. Luis Gras Rodriguez, his wife and 4-year-old son are heading to Guantanamo Bay. The Coast Guard stopped them along with 8 others last weekend in a converted Buick off Marathon. The 8 others were repatriated, but the Department of Homeland Security decided the family has a credible fear of persecution. And from our Sun Sentinel newsroom tonight, Haiti is relatively calm, but still very tense after a week of deadly street battles. Haitian police did, however, attack rebels holed up in a slum in the port city of St. Mark. Witnesses say gunmen loyal to President Jean-Bertrand Aristide torched several homes, killing 2 people. The violence has left at least 46 dead. For more on the chaos in Haiti, you can log on to our website at NBC6.net.
2 people are behind bars tonight after police say they scammed unsuspecting victims out of thousands of dollars. Detectives say Gary Janik Jr. and Tracy Silverstone ran fake ads in local newspapers to lure victims with the promise of a high-paying job. Police say the victims were then convinced to wire money to pay for a security deposit. But instead, police say the 2 suspects ran off with the cash. Both face charges of grand theft and communications fraud. And buying and selling stolen electronics lands a local store owner in jail. Julia Yarbo is live in our newsroom with more. Julia?
Well, Jackie, the guy we're talking about was apparently willing to buy items he knew were stolen, then turn around and sell them for a hefty profit. Hollywood police say Calvin Vitalis owns K&R Sound and Video, which is located at the Millennium Mall in Hollywood. Investigators had information Vitalis was buying stolen goods, so they set up a sting to find out. Undercover detectives went to the store with product ready to do business.
We sold them over 700 DVD movies, over 100 video games, about 40 machines like Xbox and also the PlayStation 2, stuff like that. And we sold it for $10,000.
Now, police say the goods were worth $25,000, but Vitalis was willing to purchase it for just that $10,000, and then he planned to make a tidy profit on the resale. He is now charged with 2 counts of dealing in stolen property. Tony?
Julia, thank you. Police bust a man they say was impersonating a police officer, and now investigators want to know if he ever fooled you. Daniel Brian Marsack was arrested in Coral Gables today following a tip to police. Now, investigators say Marsack was carrying several phony IDs, including one from the Gables police. They also found parking citation books, a red and green flashing light, and even an ankle holster with a pellet pistol. If you think you may have been a target, contact Coral Gables Police at 305-460-5600. 5440.
And will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of mayor.
And Mary Scott Fuller is now South Miami's new mayor. Fuller was sworn in just a few hours ago after winning yesterday's election. She won by 130 votes, beating out Mayor Horace Fallu. Fallu was the center of controversy after being arrested on Monday night and charged with accepting an illegal campaign contribution.
It's an election year, but right now, it's Janet Jackson's overexposure at the Super Bowl that is the talk of Capitol Hill. Today in Washington, lawmakers held hearings to discuss ways to curb what many feel is indecency on television. They grilled the head of Viacom, that's the company which owns MTV, the producer of the now infamous halftime show. The FCC urged Congress to give them more power to use against broadcasters who violate decency standards. For more on the hearings and to voice your own opinion, log on to our website at NBC6.net.
Trouble under the big top when a circus comes to town. Dangerous debris dropping off a local construction high-rise site has people wondering what's up. Are South Florida towing companies following the rules when they haul your car away, or is it a costly towing trap? Ari Odzer will investigate. And some big fun sailing into South Florida this weekend. Find out what we have, and we have our sights set on for you coming up on the NBC6 News at 11.
I'm meteorologist Roland Stedham. Tonight, watching a lot of rain to the north that will eventually affect us here in South Florida. We'll tell you how with the forecast, and that's coming up next.
Hi, I'm Pam Giganti.
And I'm Bob Mayer. The Miami International Boat Show is sailing into town.
And these big boats mean big business for South Florida.
Plus, an apple day keeps the doctor away, which has nothing to do with the news, but we're looking traffic and weather on the ones. Starts at 5.
Next, all new Ellen. Britney Spears performs live on stage. The interview you don't want to miss. Plus, Ed's Tom Cavanaugh. Next, all new Ellen.
Tomorrow at 4 on NBC6. Makeovers, the hottest trend. Nip left. NBC6 takes you to the South Florida spot where you can get it all. Flatter tummy, brighter smile, firmer face, all in one stop. Thursday at 11 on NBC6.
Complaints you can have.
A school bus beating caught on camera, and tonight 6 students are suspended from school. And we warn you, these images are disturbing. Here you see a crowd of students look on as a 12-year-old boy is repeatedly hit by several teens. It happened in Duval County last week. The 6th grader suffered bruises on the back of his head and neck, but none of the injuries is considered serious. 6 students were arrested and charged with battery. The bus driver is on administrative leave. And the Universal Circus is back in South Florida, but safety violations almost stopped its first performance today. Hundreds of anxious children, parents, and teachers waited outside the Big Top at Pro Player Stadium as inspectors dealt with potential fire hazards inside. After more than an hour, everyone was let in, and the show went on without another hitch. It's the Universal Circus's 11th year. They will be in town through Sunday. Tonight, tight security surrounds a Fort Lauderdale high-rise currently under construction. Police say someone has been throwing pieces of steel and plywood off the Las Olas Grand Tower building. The city of Fort Lauderdale even shut down the site for a week. Now reopened, the construction contractor in charge of the project says they've placed 30 guards on duty. There's also a plan to place a netting around the building. So far, no arrests have been made.
Well, it is a terrible feeling. You discover your car has been towed away. But are South Florida towing companies always playing by the rules? Tonight, Ari Odzer investigates how you might get caught up in a towing trap, which could cost you lots of money, even your car.
Can you tell us who authorized the tow, sir?
You got nothing better to do, you dumb.
Sir, why are you towing this car, sir? Sir, why are you towing this car? We found towing companies apparently breaking Miami-Dade County law by hunting for victims.
This is where we were parked.
Even some who were legally parked.
I am angry because it happened. It's a terrible feeling to come out of a store and not see your property there.
Rosalind Littner went shopping in Sunny Isles Beach with her husband. Their car was parked legally at the Marshall store. They say they went nowhere else, and they have the receipt to prove it.
And you came out of Marshall's, and what happened?
And the car was not there. And we thought we had forgotten where we had parked it.
Turns out the Littner's car was one of nearly 2,000 cars towed by one company, Anchor Towing, last year in Sunny Isles Beach. Anchor wouldn't give her the car back until she forked over $88.
I think it's outrageous.
Towing complaints like Rosalind's dominate Miami-Dade County's Consumer Affairs hotline.
A towing company? And what is the problem?
It's a situation where it has totally gotten out of control, and we're trying to lasso that in.
Miami-Dade's Auto Theft Task Force is cranking up the pressure on illegal towing. What you see happening here today, police ordering cars removed from one tow company's lot because they say they were held here illegally, is just one problem in an industry the authorities say is full of them.
There's a lot of individuals out there that are just outright stealing cars with their tow trucks.
Police say towers are also overcharging drivers, and the most common violation, towing cars without express written authorization from the property owner or a merchant for every vehicle before it's towed.
What consumers need to know is that a car can be towed within 30 seconds.
We showed our video to Miami-Dade's Assistant Director for Consumer Services.
Without express authorization, towing companies could conceivably take the law into their own hands and indiscriminately tow away cars at their discretion.
You got nothing but
Sir, we're at NBC 6. Can you tell us who authorized the tow? This woman has just realized her car is gone, and she'll have to dig deep to get it back from Kendall Towing.
$97, okay.
Who authorized the tow, sir?
I ain't talking to you.
We asked every merchant in this Sunset Drive shopping plaza. None of them gave authorization. Did you guys call and ask them to tow a car?
No, sir. We just make pizza.
The business owners tell us cars are constantly being towed here because people just ignore the signs.
If I break the rules, I wouldn't be here. I would be in jail, right? Not to talk about, buddy. You're interrupting my business.
The next day, the driver's boss was hauled off to jail. We tried to ask Kendall Towing owner Dwayne Garcia why his trucks hide behind buildings, waiting to tow anyone who ignores the warnings.
Can you tell us about those tows on Sunset?
Police charged Garcia with 10 counts of felony lien fraud. They say Kendall Towing had no right to tow any of these cars, so they're removing them from Kendall's lot to prevent the cars from being resold. That green Escort belongs to Iris Gonzalez.
Oh my God, what happened?
We told Gonzalez police had recovered the car 1 month after it was towed.
Happy I got it back.
Gonzalez couldn't afford to retrieve it, and now she says she's happy to see Kendall Towing's owner in handcuffs.
Yeah, because now he won't do that to somebody else, or to other people, you know? There's a lot of people that don't make a lot of money for them to be getting their cars towed away just so they can make money, you know? It's not fair.
And there's a happy ending for Rosalind Littner, too. She hired a lawyer and got her $88 back. Now, Anchor Towing's owner, Monica Savitz, told me her drivers do get written authorization for every vehicle they tow. Kendall Towing's owner, Dwayne Garcia, told me today that he had correct paperwork, was wrongfully arrested, and says he's fighting the charges against him.
And what's the situation in Broward?
Well, in Broward, it's a little bit different because drivers don't have as much protection in Broward. There are no regulations on towing procedures. The only regulations there are on how much can actually be charged when your car gets towed to get it back.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ari. And if you have a complaint about a towing company, you can call 305-375-3677 in Miami-Dade. In Broward, the number 954-765-5350.
And now it's time to turn our attention to weather. It's getting warmer. It's getting summertime like in February.
It's a scorcher out there, Roland.
It's February, 82 degrees today, guys. I'm forecasting a high tomorrow, Miami, of 85 degrees. Some of the inland areas could actually be a couple of degrees warmer than that. Plenty of sunshine with just an isolated shower possible in the afternoon and evening hours. No shower activity today across the Keys. Here's our not live shot, but this is our time-lapse video from our Hotel Cam. That's Duval Street. Look at the beautiful blue skies. And then we go from there to our Eastern Financial Cam. There's the NBC6 studios right there. Nothing but blue skies with just a few beautiful puffy cumulus clouds out there. Very dry, very warm conditions, very stable atmosphere across South and Central Florida. Once you get up around the Florida Panhandle, it is a totally different scenario. Just persistent showers and storms continue across the mid-Atlantic states down through the Tennessee Valley into the state of Texas. And now, watching this, there's some cold air and some energy. It's a low that's starting to form and drop down into the state of Texas. And eventually this low is going to drop down into the Gulf of Mexico. And that could eventually give us a chance of some showers here in South Florida. I'd say the best chance would be late in the day Saturday, and on Sunday. Don't think the weekend's going to be a washout, but I do think we may see just a few showers around late Saturday, maybe a few showers on Sunday, as all this continues to affect much of the southeastern United States. But right now, South Florida sitting high and dry. High pressure is protecting us. All the rain continues to the north. They've had some problems with flooding around some of the Gulf Coast region because they've had so much rain. It's been so persistent now. This is the way the radar has been looking for the last 3 days across the Gulf Coast. So this is the way it's going to be tomorrow. The canopy of showers will continue well to the north of us. Front to the north means that the flow is going to be out of the south and the southwest tomorrow. That is a very hot, steamy flow, so temperatures are going to be approaching near record levels tomorrow. We'll have plenty of sunshine, nice weather expected on Friday as well. Then we'll have to wait and see what happens on Saturday and Sunday. Here's your 6-day forecast tomorrow. 85 degrees on Friday, 82. And then Saturday, very warm and steamy, maybe a few showers late Saturday and some showers possible on Sunday. Have a good night.
First Alert Doppler 6 is brought to you exclusively by the Miccosukee Tribe of Indians of Florida.
Well, you can check out hundreds of million-dollar yachts starting tomorrow at the 16th Annual Yacht and Brokerage Show in Miami Beach. The event takes place in the Indian Creek Waterway and features some of the world's most unique super yachts. The show runs through February 16th, and admission is free.
But if you're more interested in a fishing or speedboat like Joe Rose told me he was, sail into the Miami International Boat Show. The show takes place in 3 locations, Joe: the Miami Beach Convention Center, the Miami Sea Line Marine, and the Yachting Center, and the Maya Marina at Bayside. It features more than 1 million square feet. That's right, 1 million square feet of displays. The city of Miami Beach is providing shuttle service from its parking lots at 21st Street in Collins, 34th Street in Collins, 41st and Sheridan, 46th and Collins, 53rd and Collins, and finally a lot on 63rd and Collins. No excuse, Joe, for not knowing how to get there. You have all those shuttles to pick you up.
It's a great show. It's supposed to be one of the biggest in the world, if not the biggest.
Yeah, it's fabulous to go to. Even if you don't like boats, you got to go.
And there's always great food, too.
That's right. That's what Jackie looks at. Joe Rose is next at Sports.
We'll be right back.
Well, we got plenty of basketball for you tonight. The Heat trying to end a 5-game losing streak in Orlando. It's Miami's last game before the All-Star break. First quarter, Heat down 2. Rafer Alston nails the 3. His 20th straight game with a triple. Heat up 1. Second quarter, Heat up 9. Rasul Butler nails the 3. Rasul at 12 points coming off the bench. All right, still in the second, Rasul with the nice pass to Udonis Haslem. He slams it down with authority. Heat up 17 at the break. Third quarter, Heat running Alston to Dwayne Wade. He slams it home. Wade with 27 points and 10 boards on the night. And then when Wade finds Lamar Odom, who gives Zaza Pachulia a facial, Odom with 18, Heat win big, 111-98. Well, the Canes hoops team trying to end a 5-game skid, hosting Boston College tonight at home. Darius Rice in an unfamiliar role, coming off the bench. First half, Canes down 2. Guillermo Diaz ends the half with a deep 3. Diaz with 21 points on the night. Canes up 1 at the break. Late in the second, Canes down 1. Robert Height with the miss. Rice there for the putback. Canes up 1. But back comes BC. Craig James gets it inside and gets it to go here. Final seconds. Canes down 2 now. Darius Rice with a chance to win it. Wide open 3. No good. Diaz rebounds, misses the putback. Will Frisbee gets fouled on the rebound. Less than a second to go, but the clutch shots. He makes both free throws into OT. Jared Dudley takes overtime in the BC, nails the 3, gives the Eagles the lead. 9 points in overtime for Dudley. Canes with one last chance. Darius Rice misses the floater. Karan Clark can't get the putback. Canes lose their 6th in a row, 74-72. Guy Rawlings is in. Coral Gables with more.
Joe, overtime hasn't been good to the Canes. They are 0-4 in extra play. Now their skid stretches to 6 straight losses, which senior Darius Rice is taking kind of hard.
I want to take the shots, to get us out of the slump. I want to take us the shots to help us win. And sometimes they be bad shots, And in my mind, I didn't think it was a bad shot. I think I could hit every shot. But in everyone else's eye, it was like, maybe I was being a little stingy, a little selfish.
I've just never been in a situation like this where, just nothing good falls your way.
Joe, it doesn't get any easier for Miami. 3 ranked teams in their last 6 games, beginning with Syracuse on Saturday. In Coral Gables, Guy Rawlings, back to you.
Thanks, Guy. The Dolphins may be looking for a new quarterback in Washington. The Washington Post reports the Finns have offered their first-round pick for Redskin quarterback Patrick Ramsey. Ramsey was a first-round pick 2 years ago for the Redskins. Ramsey threw for nearly 2,200 yards and 14 touchdowns last season before getting injured in a game against the Dolphins. Dolphins will be one of 10 teams on hand in Houston tomorrow to see former Michigan quarterback Drew Henson work out. Henson opted out of his contract with the New York Yankees to pursue a career in the NFL. The Houston Texans drafted Henson in the 6th round of last year's draft and are looking to trade him, but if they do not work out a deal by April 23rd, he will re-enter this year's draft. And that will do it for sports. We'll have more news in just a moment.
Here are your lottery numbers tonight, but the big lotto numbers 45, 10, 20, 43, 30, and 13.
And that'll do it for us for the NBC6 News at 11.
Jay Leno is next. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.
Good night.
Thank you for making NBC6 your choice for news. Join Bob Mayer, Pam Giganti, and Lonnie Quinn for Today in South Florida tomorrow morning at 5. And for news 24 hours a day, log on to NBC6.net or listen to us on 87.7 FM.